Hello everybody, welcome back. I am here with Miss Teasel today to make a hedgehog care video. Now she's awake because I have to clean her out. So I decided to bribe her with a little pepper for a little bit to see if she would stay still and help me make this video. Are you coming back here, little lady? Huh? You don't want your pepper? You don't want your pepper? You're so cute. Come on, let's go back to eating the pepper. Yeah? Her nails get stuck in the carpet and she hates it. Alright, so today's video is going to be on hedgehog hibernation and how you can keep your hedgehog warm in the winter time. Now I know this video doesn't apply at the moment because it's summertime and it's really hot, but this video will help you get some ideas on how you can keep your hedgie warm during the winter. And this was requested by Noah the Kiwi, so definitely go check out his videos. A shout out to him. So let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now something that a lot of people don't know about hedgehogs is that they can easily go into hibernation if the temperature gets way too cold for them. However, as opposed to other animals in the wild that hibernate, hibernation is deadly for hedgehogs because they cannot store all the fat necessary that they need to survive during that hibernation period. Now, if we think of an animal that hibernates in the wild, for example a bear, they spend all the fall eating and packing on the pounds so they can use all that stored fat to survive their hibernation period. Hedgehogs, on the other hand, cannot do that, so that's why it's necessary as a hedgehog owner to continuously monitor the temperature of their cage, especially during the winter months, to avoid them going into hibernation and dying. Therefore, with this video, I'm just going to show you a few things that I do to help keep my hedgie's cage warm, so that it stays between 72 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the comfortable temperature for them, because I had a hibernation attempt previously with my previous hedgehog Snowdrop, and thankfully she was alright after I warmed her up a little bit, but it is a scary experience and I definitely don't want anybody to go through that. So let's go ahead and get started. So first off, having shavings in your hedgehog's cage goes a long way to keep them warm. Having a generous layer of shavings in the bottom of the cage allows them to stay warm. If they're too cold at the surface, they can just burrow and dig under it and they'll be a lot warmer. These are two examples of bedding that you can use for your hedgehog. I use the Boxo Comfort bedding in one part of her cage, usually where she goes to the potty, because it's very good for absorbency. It's very similar to the Carefresh, but it's less dusty. And the other bedding that I use for her is the, let's see the name here, Eco Bedding. And this is just a paper-based bedding that is little crumpled pieces of paper that she likes to tunnel through. These are just two examples of bedding that you can use for your hedgehog. Another bedding that you can use is Carefresh bedding, which is similar to this one, and you can also use aspen bedding. However, with aspen bedding, I find that it's really dusty. I used to have aspen bedding with my previous hedgehog, Snowdrop, but I found that she sneezed a lot with that bedding. And then eventually I ended up switching to Carefresh to try it out and see if there was any difference, and the sneezing stopped completely. So if you have any animal that sneezes a lot and you have them on aspen bedding, you may want to try to change beddings and see if that helps a little bit. Now another thing that I would definitely recommend to keep hedgehog cages warm is cozy items like these that I have right here. My hedgehog personally likes the cozy sacks because she feels safe in there, because she has this that falls on top of her and she doesn't feel exposed. So this is what one of these looks like. This one is from Cobb Cabin Crafts. And another good one is cozy tunnels like these. As you can see, she's not exposed because she has this on top of her, and if she wants to feel cozier and safer in there, she just sometimes stuffs it with shavings and sleeps in the middle, which will definitely keep her really warm. Now you don't have to go over the top and go and buy expensive things for your hedgehog, because they really don't need expensive things like these if you don't want. You can easily use other things that you have around your house that will do the same job as cozy items like this. For example, you can use a cheap towel like this. This is just something that you get at Walmart or anywhere for really cheap, and you can just like rearrange it like this, like a little tunnel or something, and they'll just automatically go to sleep under it because hedgehogs like being cozy. And this will do the same job as the cozy items to keep them warm. Another thing you can use is, like here I just have a scrap piece of fleece. Again, just toss it in the cage and it'll be like a little blanket for them, and it'll keep them warm. It'll do the same job. You can also just use like an old t-shirt or something like that. Just toss it in the cage and it'll be perfectly fine to keep them warm during the cold months. Now another thing that you can use to keep your hedgehog warm during the winter time are these Snuggle Safe microwave heat pads. Now this is brand new. I haven't used it yet. I just bought it to prepare for the winter because I saw that my veterinarian had something very similar to this, but it was kind of like a plastic bag that she used for Snowdrop the last time I took her in, and I thought it was awesome, so I decided to definitely get one to prepare in case I needed it. Now I'll just open it for you and show you what it looks like. Okay, so now that it's out of the box, this is what it looks like. I took the cover off just so you could see what it is. So it's just kind of like a plastic little plate that you put in the microwave for like a few minutes. I can't remember how much time you have to put it in there. And it just gets warm and holds warmth for like 10 hours. So you just put the cover on it so it doesn't burn your pet, for whichever pet you're using it for. And it'll keep them warm up to 10 hours, which is really great. Especially to put in their sleeping area, which is where they like to be warm and cozy. Now what I like about this, as opposed to like a space heater or something like that, is that instead of heating the whole cage, this you can just put in one area of the cage so they can lay on it if they feel too cold, and if they're just getting a bit too warm they can move away onto some other area of the cage, so you know that they definitely won't overheat with this. Besides hedgehogs, this is also great for animals that have arthritis. I know that guinea pigs sometimes suffer from arthritis in their back legs, so this would be good for them as well, because with arthritis, when you start getting cold, that's when it starts hurting more. So just having them lay on this would be really nice comfort for them and a bit of relief from the arthritis for a little bit. So if my guinea pigs ever get to that point, I will definitely be using one of these for them as well. Oh, and in case anybody was wondering, here are the times that you have to warm up the Snuggle Safe heat pad, depending on the power that you're using, that your microwave is using. So the maximum would be 8 minutes for a 600 to 650 watt microwave. And obviously overheating can be dangerous, so always make sure to read the instructions before using one of these. Now there are some alternate options to a Snuggle Safe heat pad, because these are about $30-something, and I know that not everybody has that amount of money to just go and spend on one of these, but there is an alternate option that you can do with items that you have lying around the house. So what you have to do is take a regular water bottle. This is just a Dasani water bottle, and you fill it up with warm water. Again, warm, not too hot. What you may want to try is kind of touch the water bottle with the underside of your arm, this part right here. And if it feels too hot for you, then it's definitely too hot for them. Just make sure that the water is warm. And then what you can do is wrap it up in a towel, like this one. Make sure that the water bottle is closed tight, however, so that it doesn't leak, because it could burn your hedgehog if the water starts leaking over them. And just wrap it up tight in a towel so that the surface of the water bottle isn't exposed, and then just put it in a corner of the cage, and that way if your hedgehog is feeling a bit too cold, they can just lean against it to get a little bit of the warmth out of it. So yeah, that's definitely a cheaper option to this, and it'll do the job just as well. Maybe it just won't hold the heat for as long as this would. Alright, and the last thing that I'm going to suggest is a space heater, which I don't have here right now. I do have one, but it's in my basement and I really didn't want to go right now to get it. So I'll just show you a picture on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so space heaters. Again, I don't have one here at the moment, so I'm just going to go ahead and film into the cage while I talk about it. So space heaters are also an okay option to keep your hedgehog's cage warm. However, if you are using one of them, just make sure that it's not too close to the cage, because if you have a wire cage like this one, for example, then the bars can overheat a lot and make it very warm and uncomfortable for them. So if you have a cage like this and you're using a space heater, I would recommend that you put it no closer than I would say about 2.5 feet, because that way they'll get the warmth from it, but it won't make the whole place super warm so that they're extremely uncomfortable. In addition to that, another thing that I would recommend is to make sure that their cage isn't near a drafty area. That is, that it's not near a window or near a door that has kind of like an opening at the bottom and air can leak in from outside. Just to know exactly at what temperature the cage is in, and so you don't have to worry, I would recommend buying one of those small little thermometers and hanging it somewhere on the cage, near their sleeping area preferably, because that way you'll know exactly how cold it is or how warm it is, and you don't have to worry about what temperature it is. I've been meaning to get one for a while, but I just keep forgetting to go and buy one, but that's definitely something I have to do in the future. And another thing you can do is, so they can have some extra warmth, just get a fleece like this or a regular blanket and just hang it over the cage like this, over their sleeping area, so they get a little bit of warmth. Another important thing that a lot of hedgehog owners don't know is that hedgehogs can also go into hibernation if they don't get enough sunlight during the day. So that's why it's important to have their cage in a well-lit area. Make sure that they get sunlight for, I would say, at least 8 to 10 hours a day, so that they can distinguish when it's daytime and when it's nighttime, and they don't go into hibernation because they don't get enough sunlight. Alright, so I guess that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and yes, Diesel had to be retired back to the cage, as you may have noticed, since she would not stay still and just kept moving around and I couldn't film the video. So thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please go ahead and ask me. I'm pretty good about getting back to people. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and also request if you have any video requests. Bye!